Hello, hello. I'm linking here to our 90-day run. And let's see if we got here. Hello, hello. Okay, we're there. Woohoo. Well, is Sedaria here?
Here.
You're here? Yay! What would you call it today? I know he didn't give us a title, really. But anyway.
I'd call it Tuesday.
Yeah, I was like, did I miss it? So I went back. That's what I was doing. Then I had getting on.
Did we get linked here? Yes, we are. Good job.
I don't know what to call it. He didn't give it brainstorm. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can change the name afterwards, so we're good. I put on there 5 questions.
Five important questions.
Yeah.
All right. So we are ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this is something that you said it is something that's going to take some time, but try and get it done within the next 24 hours, because it's going to make you think. He wants you to think about these 5 questions. So then he mentioned about when you that it will get, or how did he say that? He said, do it, teach it, then teach them to teach it. So he said, once you get to that point where you can teach them to teach it, then you're moving. Now he says, so he wants you to contemplate these lessons that he's going to give us the rest of this month, so that for July, he wants us to do a 30-day sprint.
We're doing a 90-day run, and then you want us to sprint, and then you're going to get us to run again? Really?
The last July will be, I guess, putting all these lessons and things that they've given us and doing them in a sprint. All of July. So the 5 questions that he gave were these. Why are you here? So we're all familiar with that question, why? That's what we're told to always know, what our why is, share our why. So that, and it changes. Your why will change for you. But to know why you are here, why are you in this company? Why are you in this training? That. So he says the reasons come first, answers come next. The reasons will come first, and then the answers will come. Our second question is, what do you want? What do you want out of your business? What do you want out of life? What do you want from this accelerator training that we're doing? Just be clear about what you want. What do you want? Once you know what you want, then he wants you to answer, what are you willing to give up to get what you want? It's going to be your hobbies. It's going to be time, energy. Be as specific as possible with that answer. He says, be specific about what you are willing to give up to get what you want. The 4th question was, who are you willing to associate with in pursuit of what you want? Is it going to be in person, whether it's in person or whether it's virtual, whether it's through podcasts, reading books? Who are you willing to surround yourself with to help you, push you to get what you want? Because those that you associate with have the most profound impact on what you ultimately will achieve. So who you surround yourself with, you become who you surround yourself with. Birds of a feather flock together. My mother always said that to us growing up. Birds of a feather flock together. So who are you willing to surround yourself with so that you can be impacted in a way where you will be able to accomplish the things that you want to get? What was that? Number 4? Okay, so number 5, what would you do if your network marketing business, if your business of paparazzi was the only thing you could do to generate the money that you needed to survive on? What would you do different? What would you change? How would you look at how differently would you look at your days? How would you look at your team? How would you look at your time and your habits? What would you do different? And how would you look at those? How would you change those things if this was the only way you can make money? Then he mentions that some of us have too many fallbacks. We have family that helps. We have other jobs. We go get a job. We have spousal support. We get government assistance. But what if, he said, even if that means just trick your mind into thinking this is it. Nothing else can pay my bills except this. What would that make you do different? Or how would it change how you do business or how you run your network marketing business? He said, just even if you have to trick it, just keep telling yourself. He said something about that he would think of something. He said, what did he say about making something like poison to him? He thought of it as poison. I kind of missed it. I'm like, what? It was something I think he said about who he would be, people he would feel like that wasn't going to help him. Then he would start to think that the air, that's what he said, the air when being with those people it's like toxic air. It's like, whoa. So sometimes you have to trick yourself into, trick your mind into forcing you to get where you need to be, or the mindset that you need to be in. And not necessarily saying that those people are bad, but in the space that you need them to be, they are. And they can be toxic to your business. And if that's the case, then you need to put them in that place so that they don't affect you. But to have those positive ones around you. Then he said when he talks to his top leaders, he tells them to, or those were the 5 questions. So if y'all need me to repeat them, just let me know. But then he kind of just went on talking about my notes here. When he talks to his top leaders, and this was going along with the fact that this is the only way you can generate money. He says you rebuild to your same rank, rebuild to your current rank with all new people. Rebuild to your current rank with all new people, not using your existing team. I was like, whoa. So we have, and I've told people this, and I wanted this to be mine, so that I will become director every month with new people. It haven't happened yet. I'm getting there, but that's the goal. Really, we should all be thinking that to rank every month, we should be making director with 3 new consultants. And when you do that, then you can't help but grow. Your business can't help but grow. But that's what he says. He tells his top leaders, rank to your same rank, but with new people. So that means you will be constantly building. Then he just kind of went into some other thoughts. He was talking a little quickly, and I kind of got a little lost. So if you want to hop in, Mama Frank, please feel free. But I know he mentioned something about the ripples that we will see when we're doing our part when we're helping our team, when we're helping our business partners grow, we will start to see, we can see those ripples. We throw those pebbles out there and they start to make those changes. Their business starts to grow. They start to rank. We see them walk the stage. We see those visual things, the effects that we've made on them because we've contributed to their life. We brought them into business, showed them how to do the business. We worked with them, encouraged them, build them to those points to where they now have those ranks and they now are seeing their business flourish. But then there are parts of it, he says, that we don't see. And that would be in their mindsets, how it's affecting their families. Like you won't see all the effects that you're having on your people, but know that you are having an impact on them, although we may not see them all. Then he says, when we have to think of our business as in, and we say it all the time, we sell more than jewelry. We sell hope. We sell freedom. We sell confidence. We sell encouragement, independence. We sell so much more than just jewelry. So as business, being in network marketing business, we are helping people become the best selves that they can be, because you are teaching people to be better people. You're giving them ways to grow. What's self-help? You're giving them self-help. So it says you're helping them unlock their best selves. That's how he worded it. Unlock their best selves, because we're helping them grow, not just in business or helping them sell products, but we're helping them become a better person and better people.
Can I add in here about this? I have a question for everybody out there. Let's say, think about when you first started paparazzi. Was that a month ago? Was it a year ago? For me, it was 11, 12 years ago. When you first started paparazzi, are you different today than you were then? How are you different? Think about that. What has gone on in your life? Are you not different? Maybe some aren't. But think about that. How are you different today than you were 10 years ago? Or 5 years ago? Or even without paparazzi, are you different today than you were 2 years ago? Even if you weren't in paparazzi at that time. Think about that. What are you different? Do you stand a little taller? Do you wear jewelry so you feel better about yourself? Do you get up and put your makeup on in the morning? What do you do different?
Mm-hmm.
And let's go over those questions again. Do you mind if I reiterate that? Will you say those again? Number one. Thank
Okay.
you.
The first one is, why are you here? Number 2, what do you want? Number 3, what are you willing to give up to get what you want? Number 4, who are you willing to associate with in your pursuit of what you want? And 5, what would you do if your business was the only way to make money? What would you change in how you look at things? So what would you do if this business was the only way you could generate income for yourself? What would you do different?
Yeah, and I mean, paparazzi is my only income, even for Tom. And I know I would be doing things differently if, it is my only income, but if you really thought about that you had nothing else to rely on, what would you do different? Yeah, I liked it. It was good. And
Kind of ended with a couple other things. Well, these were 2 that I wrote down, I guess, because they touched, they're personal to me. He said, we get rid of those limiting beliefs.
yes.
And that's hard for me. just on a personal level, that's hard for me to get rid of those limiting beliefs. And he said, stop thinking small. So those were, and he mentioned a couple of other things, but those were the two that stood out for me.
Limiting beliefs are hard, aren't they? Because we all think, I thought I was the loser. Yeah. Okay, I have something I'm seeing on Facebook, more confident, have more ambition, talking and interacting with others. Valinda said, I'm different. I've learned so much from leaders, self-development. So may I suggest something that Eric Worre didn't say, but I would like to suggest it? Because
Sure.
this is a tender thing to you, I can tell. So this is a Robin and Sedaria chat today. I have been starting to read this book. Now I read it on audio, but I've been listening to every morning. I go for a walk for 15 or 20 minutes. And I've been listening to some Jim Rohn and Brian Tracy. They're my two favorites right now. Only 15, 20 minutes. They were around years ago, but a lot of things that they say matter. Jim Rohn said that his mentor told him to read this book, Think and Grow Rich. I think it was written in like 1920 or something to start with, but I listened to it on audio, and I would like to suggest, I want to tell you to do this, Sedaria, especially for you. Listen to that. I bought the book, so I listen to it and I read it as it talks to me in the ear, and go through it and underline the things. One of the things that it talked about, very first story in the whole book, was, we all know Edison. Edison developed the light bulb, and he was so confident that he was going to do that, that he didn't let anything stand in his way. Now, you know, he went through 10,300 and some odd tries to develop that light bulb before he ever made it work. So talk about limiting beliefs. I mean, really. Well, we all see Edison as developing the light bulb. We don't see the many, many years before that he struggled. And that's where we are. And just remember, everybody that ever makes it anywhere starts down here. Everybody started at the bottom somewhere. And he talks about this gentleman, his name was some Barnes or something like that. And he had no money. He was didn't have very close. But he decided in his head that he was going to be a partner to Edison. Now, wow, how are you going to do that? And he did whatever it took. He had the desire. So that's number one to me. You have to have the desire. You have to want it. And the second one is 3 feet from gold. Darby, they found this streak of gold, and they borrowed all their family money and went out and dug and dug and dug, and they made a lot of money, but then the vein dried up. And they kept trying and trying, but then they figured, well, it's not going to work. We got it all. We're done. And they left, still owing a lot of money. They sold their money for pennies, or their equipment for pennies, to a junk man. And that junk man hired an expert to come in and find out where the veins were 3 feet from where they stopped. So I ask each one of you, what are you doing that you're ready to stop 3 feet from your goal? And I can't tell you, we can say, we can do affirmations, we can put on the vision board, but something's got to change in here. And I believe the only thing that's going to change in there is surround yourself with people that are going to change that. And I can't go find people that are millionaires and say, hey, I want to be your friend. Can we go to lunch? You know, that's not going to work. But we can listen to podcasts. We can find people that talk happy, that go to church, you know, listen to those in your ear all the time. I mean, I am getting to where I crave it every day. every single day. I jump out of bed because I'm ready to go listen to that. And every time I'm in my car, I turn it on again. And every time I'm doing something else, I'm thinking, oh, I'm eating lunch, I'm going to turn it on. And I need to focus on working, but it builds me. It makes my heart and my head feel good. So I challenge you to read that book and to get some motivational things out there, because it is really true. For me, my birth certificate says 67 years old. And that means I have limited years left. And I don't want to die. I want to have my energy, and I want to be able to run and work 50 hours a day and be excited and do these calls. But I know, or the world tells me, that I'm going to get old soon. So I decided that I'm telling everybody I'm only 45. And I still have a lot of years. I'm only halfway there in my life. So I'm going to live to be 120, I guess, is what it's going to be if I'm halfway there. So we need to trick our minds. I know what the birth certificate says, but that's not what I'm going to be. And I challenge each one of you. Why are you here? What do you really want? What are you willing to give up? Because you can't change if you don't change something. If you want to be different, you got to change something. Who are you willing to associate with? And what would you do if this is the only way for you to make money? I challenge you to read something or listen to it or get around some of those things in your head to make your head believe that you're only 45. So, Sedaria, back to you, darling.
Well, I'm done.
Any questions? Yeah, good, excellent, excellent. That was really good, because we do have those limiting beliefs, don't we? All of us do. Every single one of us.
Hey, Robin, can I make a comment?
Yeah.
I just want to suggest to everyone to find an accountability partner. Me and Valencia, I just looked, but she's not on here right now, have become accountability partners. And it has been so good for me this past week. She's pushed me to do things, well, not, I mean, the normal things, but to do more of it. And I would have never told myself to do as much as I've been doing. And because I have an accountability person that I have to report back to, I am pushing harder. I am staying up later. I am reaching out to those that maybe I wouldn't have. So I would challenge you guys, try. I've loved it this past week. I'm a little sleep deprived, but it's okay. Sleep's overrated, right?
Thank you, Robin. That's great. And I want you all to know that that really works. If you know that you talk to someone every day or every other day and you have to check in with them, our pride sets in a little bit because we want to do good in their eyes. And that's associating yourself with someone different. The book is Think and Grow Rich. Thank you, Tracy, on Facebook. I guess Irene asked what it was, Think and Grow Rich. And also, I want you to know you are all the top 1%, because I've invited all the 500,000 million paparazzi consultants to be on here, but you're the one here. So you care. Susan, real quick, hon.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like Robin, I got an accountability partner, but I made it my team. I basically announced, this is what I'm going to do next year. So everybody got to hold me to that. So, and they agreed. They're like, okay, you know, and you know what that does with your team? It pushes them to do better as well. So I told them, I'm going to do this, and I want you all to make a goal for next paparazzi year, where you're gonna be at this time next year, so.
And chunk it down and be specific to where you're going to be each month and where you're going to be each week, because that's easier to get to. You can't eat the whole elephant at once, but you can eat a little chunk every single week. So I love that, Susan. Thank you for sharing that. Well, Sedaria, you're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate you doing this. And holy cow, you know, we're in the best business out there, the very best. Price point is great. The jewelry is fantastic. Our family is the best. I love you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and go get those new releases. Holy cow, we're almost there. Love it. Oh, yeah, good job. Virginia says, put your goals into action today. Good job. Thank you, everyone on Facebook. And you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Bye-bye.